Pay attention, you bastards.
When I tell y'all this is hard to see, man. Like, I think it sucks because we've seen Dame Dash get out here and tell us what being a boss means, and you got to be like this, and you know you got to be a boss, and you can't have you can't just be a worker. You got to be a big dog. You got to be a boss. And we've watched him get out here and pop it for years. But we've also watched him sit on interview after interview and explain himself. And this new interview just came out, and he's doing the same exact thing again, explaining himself. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand how somebody can get up there and say, oh, you got to be this, you got to be this, you got to be that, you got to be this, you can't be this, you can't be that. Talk about Charlemagne, and Charlemagne signs a $200 million deal. Talk about Envy, but Envy's buying property across the world. You know what I'm saying? It seems like Envy and Charlemagne is in a better position than him. You know what I'm saying? Talk bad about Jay-Z, then turn around and be like, oh, a person's a chatty patty if they're talking about another man. We see him say things, then get online and have to explain himself over and over again. And that's why I say it's getting worse and worse. You know what I'm saying? He's going downhill fast. You know what I'm saying? And you can listen to a person talk and realize, like, damn, they in a bogus position. Anytime a person's constantly explaining themselves, you know what it is. You know what I'm saying? So I seen this interview and I'm just like, man, this shit's sad, because again, who don't look at Dame Dash to say, man, he's one of them guys. You know what I'm saying? Or he used to be one of them guys. You know what I'm saying? I've said this before in videos. If you are a fan of hip hop, if you are a fan of business, you cannot say that you never looked at Dame Dash the same way you looked at Master P, the same way you looked at Birdman, the same way you looked at Jay-Z at a period of time when it pertains to hip hop, when it pertains to business. You know what I'm saying? So seeing this again, man, it sucks. It sucks, man.
So, Dame, you recently made headlines about
I told you
Poppington LLC selling at an auction for $100.50.
It was only worth 50
all to help cover $1 million. Okay, so
it wasn't. I told you the last time you were here. I said what he does is these companies that if I have a copyright or a trademark, any muddy waters. So,
and real quick, he auctioned off, because I want to be clear, right? Dame auctioned off one of his companies, which is called the Poppington Group, right? Dame Dash came out years ago and was saying, Poppington. I got this thing, Poppington Group, this and that, right? This is what he was saying years ago, right? The same way he say, I got American New, I got my network, I got this, right? He's been saying that for years. So now he's auctioning off the company, right? And now he's trying to act like, oh, well, that was never really my company. But watch him get so defensive, because he'll say one thing, then somebody will call him on his shit, and then he'll try to turn around and be like, oh, no. You constantly explaining yourself. So I want y'all to pay attention to this.
I heard something. I heard they said honor up. Definitely. I wrote honor up. I never filed a trademark in my life. I would love to sue for that. I dare them to try to think that or try to interrupt my business for that. And then there were 2 pilots that I did. We went to China. We went to Jamaica. They were pilots. So I trademarked it and copywrote it. But again, it will never be used because I would never give the clearance for the music or any of the things that come with it. They're not worth anything. I never made $1 from them. So if I wanted it, you don't think I could have got $1 from somebody or $2 from somebody? But I told y'all they're not. These are old companies. Poppington hasn't existed, and it was never a movie company. That's what I.
So it doesn't carry anything. It doesn't hold any of your.
Why else would it only have gone for $1?
Who put it up for auction?
So again, this is another. You asked me about this the last time you were here.
We didn't get a chance to dive deep.
Pay attention to how she looking at him. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you asked me this when I was here, but you keep scrolling over shit. We're asking you direct questions, and you keep trying to make it seem like I'm just smarter than you guys, so you guys wouldn't understand this. Again, if you're so smart, and again, I'm not saying he's not smart. Dame Dash is still Dame Dash. But what I'm saying is I hate when people ask people direct questions and then they try to play the role of, oh, I'm just smarter, you wouldn't understand. No. If you're so smart, explain this shit to me so I can understand. You know what I'm saying? So you're not looking goofy. And every time somebody asks you a direct question, you can't really give direct answers.
And I thought I answered it the last time. I said in the bankruptcy, there were certain things they wanted to carve out. So Poppington, I guess, was an old company, and it went to auction because it wasn't part of the bankruptcy. So it was.
But who
part,
makes the decision to do
a judge.
Okay.
But my point is, if it has no value, who cares? So what I'm saying is, this was a company that was 20 years ago, right? Like literally 2015, that had no assets in it, not an LLC, it wasn't a movie company. No movie went through that. So why would I?
It was just a company.
It was a company that was it's gone. It's over.
Yeah,
Remember when I
yeah.
said I don't do it last week? I said
Yeah,
last
I
time
remember
I said
you
I don't
saying
do an
that
LLC till
it makes money.
Right.
Yeah.
That was a company that never made a dollar.
And so because
So
you were
the-
doing
Now look, what he's saying is understandable. I start up these different companies. A lot of people start LLCs for different reasons. Some people start an LLC or start an S corp and just hold it, not do nothing with it, but they're trying to build credit on it. So they're trying to hold it for a certain period of time, attach your personal situation with it. You can attach your personal credit with it, so you can build up the business. So people do that, but the problem is that you get so defensive when people ask you questions, right? But then you put out a certain image, and then we hear that you going broke, right? So whenever somebody's getting so defensive and always wants to explain shit, and you know what I'm saying, 9 times out of 10 is because there's some truth in that, right? Because again, nobody just makes this shit up and say, hey, well, he's broke. You know what I'm saying? He said in an earlier part of this interview, he said they're trying to the courts were trying to get or have him pay $7,500, and he was like, I don't have a random $7,500, and I can't call nobody to get $7,500. Like, bro, you can't call like this. We're not talking about a guy who's a young guy that never did business, that's not connected. We're talking about a guy who built up $100 million company, and now everybody's saying you're broke, and you tell me you can't get $7,500. You know what I'm saying? That be the problem, is that you say all this bullshit and I got money and I'm this and I'm that, then turn around and be like, oh, I can't get $7,500. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of them things, and that's why I say, like, every time he does an interview, to me it don't make him look better. And I get it, if you're doing it for content, I understand. You know what I'm saying? Because you can, obviously he's making money with his network, with what he's doing, right? This interview within itself is on his network. You know what I'm saying? On his YouTube channel that he owns, American New Network. You know what I'm saying? So obviously he's making some type of money, but it's just one of them things where you constantly got to explain yourself. Somebody's constantly saying something about you because you're putting it out there for them to say something.
bankruptcy, that was one of the ones that wasn't
you have
involved.
to trademark and copyright certain things to protect it so no one else sues you. But if I write something, if I write it, I would have to be the one to go trademark it or copyright it, or else there would be a big problem. And I remember someone trying that shit, but that's why, again, the only thing that got copywritten under Poppington that I'm aware of was 2 pilots that are unusable because there's too much music in it. There's a lot of uncleared music in it. It was a pilot. So you want to go ahead and for 100? It's not worth 100 to me.
Do you think it says something about?
Look at everybody's faces, and that's why I'm saying what I'm saying. Like, look at everybody's faces.
I'm aware of was 2 pilots that are unusable because there's too much music in it. There's a lot of uncleared music in it. It was a pilot. So you want to go ahead and for?
Everybody got the faces like, bro, you lying. You know what I'm saying? There's and I think that's the problem with Dame Dash, is that he feels that people are just picking on him, right? That's what he feels. The way he comes off is, oh, y'all just picking on me. Oh, y'all just want to say something bad about me, etc., etc. That's what he feels. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, the situation is, bro, you put yourself in a position, you put yourself in a position to have motherfuckers talk about you. That's really what the reality is. You put yourself in a position to have somebody talk about you because you pop it all day long, then turn around and you got to explain yourself because shit's not adding up. You got all this money, you're doing this, you're doing that, but now you're putting up companies for auction and you're losing money and your teeth are falling out. You say you're not a chatty patty, you get on here and talk about Jay-Z all day long. Even if you say, oh, well, they just use that for clickbait. The people that I do interviews with use that for clickbait. Even if that's the case, right? Even if that's the case, you're still putting yourself in a goofy ass position because everything that you come out with is, oh, Jay-Z did this to me, Jay-Z did that to me, Jay-Z. Okay, nigga, that was 20 something years ago. Okay, Jay-Z did you bad, Jay-Z left, right? Whatever it was, right? Okay, that happened. Where's the other shit? You know what I'm saying? You say you built these companies. Okay, cool. I got this $100 million company. Okay, cool. Then what? Something's happening. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the whole thing with Dame Dash. And like I said, I mean, as I said in the beginning, I'm a fan and I've always been a fan of Dame Dash. Dame Dash, when it comes to business and when it comes to hip hop, he was one of the pioneers of independent, along with Jay-Z and along with Biggs. You're one of the pioneers of you can do this shit by yourself. Take your money, invest in something, make your money legitimate, and do something legitimate because we all know where the streets lead you. So just off that, you got the respect of so many people. I'm one of them. I respect anybody coming from nothing and saying, I'm going to take my money. I got it out the street, but I'm going to take my money and invest my money so much so to the point where I can build up even if it was a $1 million company, just 1 million. But the nigga took it from the streets to $100 million company. So the respect is there, but the problem is that shit don't add up. Shit don't add up. And because you pop it so much, I'm a boss, it makes you look ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? It makes you look ridiculous.
Well, let's talk about you.
This is the original interview that really put Dame Dash back on the map. You know what I'm saying? Where we didn't know what happened with him and Jay-Z. We would, he said his piece, Dame said his piece early on, but nobody really was like, it just was what it was. And he's the one that came out popping it like this.
Well, let's talk about you. Do you feel like you get your props as a mogul, man? I don't care. I take my props.
Pay attention to the cockiness. Because people been on your head for so long and people are talking shit about you because if it's you and Jay-Z, then y'all broke up and Jay-Z went just like this and left you. That's how everybody's looking at it. That's everybody's perception. So you're coming into the conversation so cocky, you know what I mean? And again, you could have came in like that, but if your actions are showing that that's the case and you really that guy, nobody would talk, nobody would say nothing. But the fact that you're not showing up in that way, niggas, you looking cornier, and your brand is diminishing every single time you get on an interview because your energy does not change.
About props, I can't. I do get my props. I'm not a mogul. I'm a tycoon. I sell oil. Don't disrespect me and say I do everything everybody else does. And I put up my own money. All these so-called moguls y'all talking about, you name one of them that put their own dough up. A boss, you're only the boss if you put up your own money. If you don't put up your own money, I don't care how much somebody gives you, you're nothing but a supervisor. It's not yours. So how much money can you get paid to not? There's no money in this world for someone to pay me so they could call me, so I could call them a boss. That's like,
Mind you, this interview, he's talking to Charlemagne in Envy, telling him about you got to put up your own money. You know what I'm saying? I put up my own money, and that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. But you're popping it like that, and you're popping it to guys that understand finance and understand lending. You don't think so because they work at the radio station. You think, hey, well, he ain't got no money. He's never seen the type of money I've seen. He can't ever be on my level. Fast forward from this interview. This interview was 10 years ago. Fast forward to 2025. This was 2015. Fast forward to 2025. Now we in 2026, top of the year, and Charlemagne signs a $200 million deal. After you sat there and was like, oh, Will, you're not a boss. You're not a boss. This and that. I'm a boss. I put up my own money.
I'm somebody's daddy. How can a man call another man, yo, that's my boss? We don't do that.
I mean, everybody at some point has to have a boss, right?
No, not in Harlem. Oh, okay. Put it like this.
Because you're somebody's boss.
No, I'm not somebody's boss. I'm. When I was in the street,
Mm-hmm.
Someone wasn't your boss. They gave you an opportunity.
Okay.
They gave you some work. You go make it, and then you bring it back. You can go buy your own work. You do whatever you want. It's called consignment.
So why this can't be all work? This corporate America, we could be using
You don't
this.
own it.
But
I'm telling you. No, I'm
we could
telling
be
you
using
why.
this to
I'm
funnel
telling you
all
why.
other stuff.
Question. Let me answer your
I'm
question.
listening.
Can you give it to your son?
I give what to my son?
Whatever you
Shares
working
of this
for,
company? I
yeah.
absolutely positively can.
How?
Why? Because I own shares of this
You
company.
bought him?
Yes.
What I'm saying is, can your son eat? Is this yours to give the whole company
This
to
full
your?
company is
I'm
not
asking
my son's. No,
exactly.
It's not mine. But I own
Wait,
shares
stop.
of this company.
Listen.
I'm
It's not my
listening.
question. If your son needs a job here, can you give it to him? No.
No.
If your son needs to get some money out the bank from here, some cash flow, can he get it?
No.
All right. You don't own this.
But I can.
Now listen. In his defense, as I keep saying, I understand what he was saying. Because when I seen this interview, it actually turned me up because it was like, yo, that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? Like, who doesn't want to be a boss? Who doesn't want to say, yo, I own everything that I do? The problem is that you sitting there popping it and you like, you got to be this guy, you got to be this guy, you got to be this guy. But you're not understanding that because of the way that you think, that's why you don't have, right? There's nothing wrong with being an owner, an entrepreneur. That's amazing. But when you start saying, hey, well, you got to put up your own money. That's the only way. Lending is not good. Financing is not good. It's no difference from the guy that says you have to buy your own car. You have to buy it cash. Financing is not good. At the end of the day, it's what works for you. You know what I'm saying? It's what works for you. And you fast forward, because you put up your own money does not mean that you are more successful than the next guy. Oh, well, I don't have any debt. We've seen, if you know business to any extent, people reverse out of debt all the time. It's very simple. And if you're not into business, you could buy, let's say, a car as an example. Just a quick example. You could buy a car with a credit card, right? You buy the car, let's say, for $2,000 with a credit card. That's debt. You take the car, you sell the car for $4,000. You bought it for $2,000, you sold it for $4,000. Whatever the fees was, you paid the fees, and now that's all profit. You never came out the pocket of any money. That's simple math as to why what he's saying is bullshit. But to a person that don't know shit, it sounds amazing. Oh, well, damn, look, because when I was younger, I was like, yeah, nah, he right. Put up your own dough. Then I start learning about financing. Then I start understanding, damn, it's people that got way more money than you, way in a way bigger level, but then they use financing. So point is, Dame Dash, I think his intentions are great. And he knows some shit, obviously. Dame Dash got more money than me, what I believe. So I can't say he don't know shit. But the problem is that there's not one way to do shit. And the way that he's doing stuff, it seems like that's why you're in the position that you're in. And that's why you're on a decline. You know what I'm saying? In every interview he gets in, it looks worse and worse. Every interview, this is what happened with Jay-Z and Dame. Jay-Z and Dame. You know what I'm saying? It's always something like that. It's never like, you know, some super positive shit. We can go right now and type in let me see what comes up. Dame Dash defends his worth on The Breakfast Club. Dame Dash still won't let his beef with Charlemagne go. Dame Dash speaks on the Jim Jones comment bankruptcy. And I want y'all to really see this. Let me scroll out so y'all can see the titles of what I'm talking about. Read all these titles. Dame Dash still won't let his beef go with Charlemagne. Dame Dash speaks on the Jim Jones comment in bankruptcy. Dame Dash speaks on the Diddy 50 Cent. Okay, that's one. Dame Dash goes off on Charlemagne the God, Jay-Z versus Beanie Siegel. The Dame Dash interview, Jay-Z's NFL deal. Dame Dash addresses 50 Cent, Cameron, and Jay-Z. Dame Dash on Kanye and Jay-Z. Dame Dash breaks his silence on filing bankruptcy. So the point I'm getting at is that it's like, bro, we understand people poke fun at you, but people are poking fun at you because you're talking heavy and it's not adding up. And every time you come out, you're talking about another man. And you can say all day, oh, it's clickbait, it's click. That's fine. But at the end of the day, you quick to call, hey, that's a chatty patty, you talking about another man. Chatty patty, you talking about another man. But then you do the same shit. So it's one of them things, man. But we got to pray for Dame Dash, man, because at the end of the day, Dame Dash was one of our GOATs when it comes to business and hip hop. And I think that I would love to see him get back to that level. I would love to see it. You know what I'm saying? So we got to just pray for Dame Dash, man. So one time for Dame Dash. Let's hope he get back to where he once was and he can step outside of his body and understand why people are saying the shit that they're saying and just fix it and not be so cocky about it. At the end of the day, man, thank you for always supporting. Appreciate y'all liking. I appreciate y'all sharing. I appreciate y'all subscribing. Again, stay ready. I got a lot more shit coming. I'm trying to drop more often, put these things out. You know what I'm saying? So again, man, I appreciate everybody supporting. I appreciate y'all watching. I'm gonna catch you on the next one.